Something special here from MAGFest that I want to offer to you, and that is, what is this crazy oh, it's 10 points. You know what these are, right?
Yeah.
10 points, okay. At select vendors, these are worth like $10. I have 4 of them to give away today, and I will give them to the 4 best questions asked during this here panel. The question hasn't started yet, sir. So let me start by talking about the video game industry and my part in it. Usually the first question asked of everyone is, how did you get into voice acting and video games in particular? I was a radio broadcaster for many years, all over the country. The nearest station to this location I worked at would be Q94 in Richmond, Virginia. Anybody know that station? No? Where are y'all from, anyway?
Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Who traveled the furthest? I know there's a guy from the UK in there. And Leo's from Hawaii. Anybody come further than that?
There's a guy from Moscow, Russia here.
Get out! Is he in the room? Doesn't count. But that's all right. So the way I got into it was obviously being in radio for many years, recording commercials, and being an air personality. I developed, a voice like this. And while I was working at a radio station in San Diego in 1995, the top casting director for video games, period, is a woman named Lonnie Manella, and she lives in, you know Lonnie, personally. She's a bit eccentric, but Lonnie is an incredible talent, lives in San Diego, casts all these games. I met her at a radio station in 1995 and impressed her by doing some character voices, and she said, wow, have you ever considered doing video games? I hadn't at the time. She said, well, we got this game coming out, you might want to audition for it. It's a character that has a voice quality sort of in an attitude like Clint Eastwood. So they put me on the phone with this fella in Texas and said, here, do a Clint Eastwood line for him. I said, go ahead, make my day. He goes, yeah, you got the right attitude, but the character we're casting for, his name is Duke Nukem, and he takes steroids, and he's got balls of steel. So he has a much lower, tonal quality. I said, go ahead, make my day. And George Broussard said, okay, you got the job. And the very first video game I ever did, Duke Nukem 3D. Thank you very much. That's how it all started for me. Duke has become, he was an icon in the industry for years. For quite a while, back in the late 90s, Duke Nukem became a term for any first-person shooter games. It's a Duke Nukem. Which I thought, wow, that's kind of neat. I've become the Kleenex of tissues of video games, you know what I mean? And it became a worldwide sensation. In fact, here's this is really interesting artwork, which is why I brought this. I did an interview for a Belgian site recently. They wanted to talk about Duke Nukem Forever. And look at the art. When you get a chance, when you come up here later and say hi, take a look at the artwork they did for this Duke Nukem interview. Very strange. Anybody read French or Belgian? Okay, I'll never know what they said about me, but that's okay. I was hoping you'd help me translate, but that's all right. So from Duke Nukem 3D came many more games. I just kept getting cast for more and more games as I would do different voices. Casting director said, oh yeah, he's good for that, he's good for that. So I've been on World of Warcraft, on King Varian Ren on that game. I don't know if you've gotten to that level. Big the Cat and Sonic the Hedgehog games, and the what's his name, Omega 123 Robot, something like that. There have been far too many characters and far too many games for me to recall them all. There are the ones that stand out in my memory because maybe perhaps the recording session was a painful thing, like that Japanese remake loop game called Blue Stinger.
Yeah!
You familiar with that? They put me through hell. Okay, I spent 5 hours in a studio in Irvine, California, just trying to say Blue Stinger the way the Japanese director wanted it to sound. Japanese director to Jon St. Name of game is Blue Stinger. Okay, Blue Stinger. No. Blue Stinger. Blue Stinger. No, you. I must have said it 500 frickin' times! Finally, I think they took the blue from one take and the stinger from another take and married them together. And finally, and that wasn't even the really hard part of the game. The hard part of looping is trying to match Japanese dialogue with English dialect. that does not match for time. You ever notice when you watch that old cartoon, Speed Racer? I don't know what you do. They're always making extra stupid noises just to fill the syllables that the Japanese use. And well, you have a timing mark you have to hit when you're looping. That's really difficult. Do 15 words in 3 seconds so it'll match the Japanese loop. So it can be a challenging job, but it's fun. I gotta be honest with you. I have the best job in the world because A, I get paid to talk, and I can talk forever. And B, I got fans like you guys. Holy shit, I'm the luckiest guy I know. You guys make my job awesome. And I know I partied with a few of you last night, so thank you for being so cool. Everybody at MAGFest, always awesome, always a good time here. Really enjoy it. Now, let's, before we get into questions and answers and all that good stuff, you know they have the child's auction. Where's Big Adam? Big Adam, are you in there? Can you come up here for just a moment and tell them a little bit about what's going on with the auction? Oh, there's a good microphone. And I will tell you that I have a couple of collectibles I want to give to you right now to put into the auction. This is a pewter Duke Nukem Forever belt buckle. It will attach to any belt buckle. It is one of a kind. I don't have any others. They gave these out at PAX in Seattle. Take-Two Entertainment created like 200 of these, and that's it. There are no more. So this goes to the auction. I will sign it if you want me to do that.
Yeah, totally.
And then I have only 2 of these never before worn Duke Nukem Forever T-shirts that look like this.
Hail to the king, baby.
That is awesome.
They're both size large, and I'll sign them if they want them signed. If they don't want them ruined with ink, that's fine.
No, we'll definitely sign.
So when is it and how's it
It's going to be in this room on Sunday at noon. I've got an amazing collection of things that people have donated. Rock Band guitar with the game signed by all the pianists that are playing this weekend. The Pro Guitar for Rock Band, also signed by all the guitarists that are playing this weekend. I've got a ton of Beat Sprite art that'll just blow your mind. We're going to have albums and t-shirts from all of the bands. Everything's going to be signed. This awesome stuff that Jon gives us. We've got 2 posters and 2 CDs from Distant Worlds, which is the Final Fantasy Symphony, all signed by Nobuo Uematsu himself. They are available. It's going to be awesome. Also, if you guys have anything that you want to donate, anything that you guys have, just kind of see maybe you picked up, you want to donate to a good cause, we're taking all the donations, we'll auction all the items off, and all of the proceeds from the event are going to go directly to child support. It's going to be really awesome.
I have a question for you. This Belgian publication called Pix and Love. Anybody ever hear of it before?
That is weird art.
Is that weird art? I've tried to read it. I can't. Is this something that people would to bid for just for the hell of it? Because it's rare.
Your signature, probably.
Okay, and then in that case, let me sign it now. I'll give it to you, Adam.
All right, sounds good.
I didn't know if they were wanted or not, but just for the artwork alone, that's pretty wild.
It's funky, just to say the least.
And if you can find a Belgian translator, then you can read my interview. Thanks, Big Adam. You the man. All right, so don't forget the auction, and there'll be lots of good stuff that you can bid on, including the stuff I brought. So, are there any questions to get this thing started? Remember, the 4 best questions of the day are going to get these tokens. Sir?
If you were a bird, what kind of car would you want to shit on first?
Wow. What's your name, sir? What's your name? Ian. That was pretty awesome. I'm going to give you 2 points for that one. If I were a bird, what kind of car would I shit on first? Probably a Prius. Just freaking horrible now assholes out in California. I'm on the freeway with them every day, and they think they're so much better than me because I'm driving an SUV that's sucking down gas and I don't give a shit. Yes, sir? 2-part. Okay, Duke Nukem's favorite, it doesn't have to be alcoholic, right? Just beverage. Was something Duke had here last year but hasn't seen this year. It's called balls.
No, it is here.
It is here?
It is here.
Where's mine? I know. I can walk down the road and get my own. Never mind. But I need some balls. And you've been talking to Lonnie? That character doesn't really exist. She wants that character to exist, but they won't do it. Duke Nukem, do you have a punchline for that, sir? I guess her favorite would be balls also. Would have to be. Do you want me to keep doing questions and answers? That was worked best for you guys, because I could just talk and speak ad nauseum, and I don't want to just, bore you to death. Yes, sir.
Has ever telling a girl that you're the boy from Duke Nukem never got you laid?
See these girls?
Yes?
Now this is, when you come up here, I'll sign autographs and all. Oh, by the way, autograph thing, let me tell you. I will sign anything you want for free. These are $5. Right. I gotta pay for these. At PAX Seattle, where they announced Duke Nukem Forever was actually done and people got to play it, and the line went around the building for 4 hours for people to play the game. I couldn't believe the turnout for it. They hired these models from around the country to come be naughty little Catholic high school girls, because they're the ones who appeared in the game, in the new game. And I hung out with these girls for the whole weekend. They were my entourage. So the answer to your question, sir, is yes. I would say there were sexual favors involved, because legally I shouldn't. What's the next question? Yes, you in the silly hat. Yeah. No, it's cool. It's cool. Hey, I do video game voices. It doesn't mean I know shit about video games. I play some of them. I'm not a huge gamer. I'll be honest with you. I'm an actor. It's what I do. Okay, what's your question? Can you lift that above your mouth so I can hear you? Yeah. In what way? I mean, I love that Ted Williams got work right away. I understand he was arrested yesterday, however, is what I read, and that's pretty sad. Apparently he slapped his child and got drunk or something like that. Really sad. That Ted Williams guy, great. But you guys all know the story of Ted Williams, right? Great set of pipes, homeless man. He was on drugs for many years, ruined his career, ruined his life, and then somebody videotaped him holding a sign at the side of the road like, "We'll speak for food," or whatever, like a homeless guy. And he was discovered and got work right away with, I'm sorry? MSNBC, that's the one I heard, and then some other product. So unfortunately, he'll make all this big money again because of like Kraft Mac and Cheese. That's a national spot. Voicing a commercial like that can make you, 20, 30 grand. I'm sure he went out and bought himself a bottle right away. All habits die hard. So I wish the best for the guy. He's got a great set of pipes, but don't have a lot of faith in him keeping it together. You know what I mean? Sad. Can I share some audio stuff with you just for fun?
Do it.
And this is a just real short single little clip that is actual audio from Duke Nukem Forever, and it's a line you've heard before, but you heard it in 8-bit. Ain't no 8-bit anymore, baby. It's all high quality stuff. Always bet on Duke. So when you play the game now, that's what it's gonna sound like. It's pretty bitchin'. The quality is awesome. Now, they've replaced some of the lines from Duke Nukem Forever. You might, from the original Duke Nukem 3D, you might remember Duke used to say, "I'll rip your head off and shit down your neck." In the new game, the new line is, "I'll rip out your eyeball and piss on your brain." Which I think is pretty cool. The writers, and I won't give names, but I can tell you the most clever, sexy, funny, ironic lines in the game were all written by a woman. Her name is Kristen, that's all I'll tell you. But she is awesome. And she writes the funniest stuff ever. Here's another line from Duke Nukem Forever. "Power armor is for pussies. You one ugly motherfuckers." I get a kick out of that shit still. I can't help it.
Oh my God.
I can't help it. Now, I was here last year and I met somebody who said, we'd really like to get you to do the voice of a new character that we're doing called Duke Bro. You guys familiar with Dude Bro?
Yeah, dude,
Dude Bro
bro.
people here? Here's a little Dude Bro for you.
Brociety ain't what it used to be. Damn, Brociety ain't what it used to be.
It's the original tape, sorry.
There's a reason I'm the best. Yeah, there's a reason I'm the best.
There's always multiple tapes.
She isn't fucked up until you met me. She isn't fucked up until you've met me. Think of a woman's name. I've had sex with someone called that. Think of a woman's name. I've had sex with someone called that.
So that's kind of stuff Dude Bro.
I'm gonna get a killer's high. Don't need a bong for that. I'm gonna get a killer's high. Don't need a bong for that.
Funny, I thought I edited that one off.
Huge difference between shooting the shit and shooting up shit. Guess which one I'll be doing? Huge difference between shooting the shit and shooting up shit. Guess which one I'll be doing?
I guess I said. So, Dude Bro, gonna be a fun game when it's done, I suppose. Let's see. In addition to doing, video games, I do a lot of commercials, infomercials, TV voiceovers, narrations, message on hold, a lot of weird stuff. As a voice actor, you have to be diversified. You have to do as much stuff as you can to keep making money and keep your head above water, because you don't have a steady paycheck, You have to audition constantly to try to find the work, wait for it to come in, and then bank your money, because there's long dry spells where there's nothing. So I've branched out and done a whole lot of things. For instance, I'll give you some samples of different stuff I do here. Radio commercials I've been doing for many years. Here's one that's running back west throughout California, Oregon, Washington, and Nevada right now.
Mammoth Mountain presents perfectly legitimate excuses when calling in sick. My bird has the bird flu. It's my time of the month. There is a pack of wild dogs outside of my house. I've never left the country, but somehow I have malaria. I'm having bundling surgery today. What'll your excuse be? With the fresh powder piling up and daily flights from LAX to Mammoth, you better get your excuse ready. Get to the top of California today. Call 800-MAMMOTH or visit mammothmountain.com.
So that's the kind of stuff I do on a regular basis, just to make money. I also do movie trailers from time to time. It's been years since I booked one, which is a shame because they pay really well. But I'll tell you this, the 3 trailers that are on this little sample here paid my mortgage for the year.
From New Line Cinema.
His name is Dennis. He thinks he's from another planet.
Is that too loud?
It doesn't matter where you come from,
So he thinks he's from Mars. And you were right about Mars. That's great.
as long as you discover
Rules of the house. First rule, no girls after 10 p.m.
where you belong.
When you're here at home, it's okay to be from Mars. But when you're out there, you gotta go by Earth rules.
Based on the award-winning sci-fi short story,
There's nothing you can do that would change the way I feel about you.
John Cusack, Amanda Peet, and Joan Cusack. Martian Child.
There's no harm in being a little eccentric.
Rated PG. The government used him as a
Everybody see that movie, Martian Child?
The corporations thought she was to be a troublemaker. They couldn't have been more wrong. This summer, see Red Fines and Rachel Weisz in The Constant Gardener, based on the international best-selling thriller by John le Carré. The Constant Gardener, in theaters everywhere August 31st. A land of heartless men.
We will have Ben Wade convicted and hanged, and we will pay to make it happen.
The code a man lives by
See one more word. What could you do? I'll have this how you did.
is the code he could die by.
Call him off.
Russell Crowe.
I should have. Because you're not all bad. Yes, I am.
310 to Yuma.
You ever heard any of those movies? So every once in a while, I gotta tell you, as a voice guy, we all love to hear our own voices. When you go to a movie theater and you hear your own voice coming out of those giant speakers behind the screen and it kind of shakes the room, man, what a rush. I really love doing that. Here's another clip that was taken from the new Duke Nukem Forever game. It's famous for ripping off other lines, like Bruce Campbell's "I'll rip off your head, shit down your neck," etc., etc. Those are not original Duke lines. Everything was stolen from somewhere. Except Duke Nukem Forever, a lot of the stuff is newly written creative. But here's one that was ripped off from a movie called Team America World Police.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
America. Fuck yeah. You know that song, right? Video games also have trailers, just like movies do, and often I get to record trailers for those as well. Here's a sample of a video game trailer voiceover.
I was there when fire first fell from the skies, when the armies of heaven and hell joined battle at last. I saw the horseman, betrayed, deceived, stripped of all honor and power. He has returned, and woe to those who face his great vengeance, for they shall know his name is war.
Okay, so that's a typical kind of movie trailer sounding thing for a video game. Sometimes they want you to do a spot on, or as close as you can get, impression of somebody else doing a movie trailer. I get hired all the time to impersonate Don LaFontaine. Do you remember who he was? The movie trailer guy? God bless him, he was so great. But I often get gigs, mostly on the East Coast, to do car dealerships who want that voice. In a world where car deals are hard to find. Isn't that ridiculous? And I love Don LaFontaine, but when he was in his heyday, he did so many projects that he should not have done. Anybody remember when he was the voice of Cartoon Network? He was. You're watching Cartoon Network. Mommy, he scared me. That's an appropriate voice, I think, but God bless him for getting the word. So sometimes they want you to do an impression of somebody else. There was a game called Two Worlds 2. Remember that one? So we need somebody who sounds kind of like Patrick Stewart from X-Men or Star Trek The Next Generation. So this is what I gave him.
In Two Worlds 2, developer Reality Pop set out to reimagine the realm of Atomor as a diverse fantasy landscape, pulling influences from a variety of real-world cultures. Escaping years of captivity, our hero returns home to find Atomor ravaged by the rule of his former enemy, the dark sorcerer Gundahar.
Okay, I'm just going to stop that one because you know where it's going. Okay, so that's an example. Kind of sounds like Patrick Stewart. From time to time, I am hired to impersonate other actors. In Half-Life, I had to do Arlie Ermey. You know who he was? Okay, from Full Metal Jacket. What is your major malfunction, son? He had some great lines in that film that I can't repeat. But I actually have something, and I like you said, why don't you come to my house with my sister? Believe it or not, there was a company putting together a motivational workout DVD. And they said, you know, a voice similar to Arlie Ermey would be really good. And, really? Just gonna motivate people to work out? I think it would piss me off. But here's what they wanted.
Morning, maggot. So I guess we should pull our thumbs out of our asses and get going. Stretch? No, I'm not gonna stretch. Stretching's for sissies. You just burned 400 calories. You know, a donut is 400 calories too. So only 6 more runs like that, you'll have burned off this morning's breakfast. You know that goal you set before we started this run? Yeah, well, you did it. Somebody should go get you a merit badge so you can stop prancing around like an idiot.
Isn't that lovely? Would you buy that to motivate you to work out? Really? Wow. I should have asked for more money on that one. A few years ago, it's funny how some projects lead you to other projects. I don't know who the fellow was to this day. I can't remember who he is or why he wanted this, but there's a site called tatatata.cm. You ever heard of it? Yeah. You know, reading text edit commands. Like, what? The guy goes, just give me your deepest, ballsiest voice, read these things. I'm just going to use them in some way. Well, somehow the link got out and other people started clicking on it, and I've actually managed to book 5 more games based on this silly thing.
Text edit, disk utility, grab, import image, mail, script editor, file, new, close, save, save as, save all, edit, undo typing, complete, insert, find, spelling, start speaking, special characters, format, font, bold, italic, underline, outline, styles.
I think my favorite line was, it's concerned. I don't know why. Okay, I do. My favorite thing to do, voice acting, is not movie trailers and the big radio voice. I've been doing that forever. I like acting. And unfortunately, in video game recording, that rarely happens. You know, it's all one line here, one line there. There's no interacting with other actors. And that's the most fun. Don't get to do that so much, but I'm still working on breaking into animation and really getting, you know, some animated feature recording. Well, I don't know how much you guys know about that part of the industry, but that is a tough nut to crack. Getting into either animation or a loop group is next to impossible. Unless somebody you know who's in a loop group dies and in their will says, I want Jon St. to replace me. You're not getting in. It's all union work, it's very tight. It's very difficult to get into that. I've been trying for 12 years to get into animation and still have not been able to do it. But I think I deserve a shot, and I'd like to see if you agree. This is my character's demo. Tell me if you think these impressions are close or even, you know, worthy.
Hello, I'm Jon St. voiceover artist, and here's some of what I can do.
Smithers, who is that large-voiced individual?
That's Jon St, sir.
St. John, eh? Is he available?
Yes, sir, I believe he is.
Excellent.
This is Roger Rabbit. Please give St. John a break. After all, he seems like a very sensible and sober fellow.
Hi, this is your best friend, the Shadow St. Stevens on American Top 40.
Greetings, boys and ghoulies. Prince St. Keeper here with a dastardly little tale I like to call Dead Air.
Amok in America. In 13 states, it's illegal. Only on MTV. Nowhere else.
Jon St. John keeps his house in the bank with a full foot of orange-coating pink fiberglass insulation.
This is Captain Jean-Luc Picard of the Federation Starship Enterprise. Mr. LaForge, please remove that silly visor and engage.
But I wish, boy, we didn't have this Star Trek kiddie spacecraft. You're giving me nachos here. Hey.
Inspector Gadget may return after these messages.
Hi ho, Timothy Fraud here.
Yellow moons, pink hearts, green clovers, frosted Lucky Charms, the magically delicious daughter-in-law.
There is no honor in defeat for the Shadow Warrior.
This is Droopy going down, sir.
Hello, this is James Mason, and I'm quite dead. Really, I'm quite sure.
That rabbit has stolen the Illudium Q-32 explosive space motivator. That makes me very angry.
So I think that should get me into cartoons. In the meantime, the best way for a voice actor like me to make regular money so that I can pay the mortgage every month is with monthly contracts or retainers. And the best way to get a retainer if you're a voice guy is with a TV or radio station. So right now I image 10 or 11 radio stations around the country. I guess the nearest one to here is in New York. Anybody familiar with the Hudson Valley area? WHUD? 100.7 WHUD. Ring a bell? Does that sound happy? The Valley's #1 hit music station, Power 98.3. Okay. So that's the kind of stuff I do, and this is a sample of various radio stations that I image, and TV stations also use imaging. You know, you'll hear the voice come on, go tonight on Channel 5 News at 10. Murder in Tucson. Whoops, I'm sorry, I don't know where that came from. But I'm hired as the news voice for TV stations. I got 4 or 5 of those right now, and they have to pay a monthly retainer fee whether I actually record anything for them or not, because they're like licensing my voice month to month, which is a pretty cool gig. So if you ever decide to get into voice acting, look into imaging, and this is a sound of what imaging is like for radio and TV.
Concert tickets before they go on sale. Cash and prices no one else can get. It's VIP treatment. Get connected and join Kiss Club. Now, classic soul. And today's R&B. Power 99. 103.1.
Chicago's heart and soul. North Idaho's rock. 106.7 The Mountain. Listen to the future of dance music. Jammin' C90, where dance music lives. Magic 95.7.
I love your radio station. It's sexy. I love that.
7 4 hits, today. Your music.
Chicago's heart and 103.1. Power 99. Even more ways to contact KISS. Phone,
Email, and AT&T wireless text messaging board that scrolls right in front of us.
all you have to do is call KISS.
Yes.
Magic 95.7. 103.1.
Chicago's heart and soul. We're hot for you 24/7.
KSexRadio.com.
The all-new Rock 106.7. There's only one radio station that plays smooth jazz. Only one station in Chicago knows your heart and soul.
103.1.
Chicago's heart and soul.
Okay, so that's called radio imaging. And it's a very simple way to pay the bills every month. Speaking of radio, I found this one clip that I wanted to bring along to share with anybody who has maybe not heard it before. Casey Goes Nuts. Okay. Let me set this up first so you know. Casey Kasem, you know who he is. American Top 40, live from Hollywood. Okay. He's a great guy. Super, super nice guy. Do not let this audio clip you're about to hear change the way you think of a super nice guy named Casey Kasem, who doesn't do 1840 anymore, I think. But back in the day, in the mid-'80s, I believe it was, he had a particularly bad day in the studio. Really bad day. Things were not going right. He was irritated. Maybe his meds were off, I don't know. But a good friend of mine was the producer of American Top 40, and he snuck this out of the studio one day, and this has become a very famous audio clip called Casey Goes Nuts. Please don't mind Casey's language.
Now, we're up to our long-distance dedication. And this one is about kids and pets and a situation that we can all understand, whether we have kids or pets or neither. It's from a man in Cincinnati, Ohio, and here's what he writes. Dear Casey, this may seem to be a strange dedication request, but I'm quite sincere, and it'll mean a lot if you play it. Recently, there was a death in our family. He was a little dog named Snuggles, but he was most certainly a part of... Let's go start again. From coming out of the record. Play the record, okay? Please. See, when you come out of those up-tempo goddamn numbers, man, it's impossible to make those transitions, and then you got to go into somebody dying. You know, they do this to me all the time. I don't know what the hell they do it for, but goddamn it, if we can't come out of a slow record, I don't understand it. Is Don on the phone? Okay, I want a goddamn concerted effort to come out of a record that isn't a fucking up-tempo record every time I do a goddamn dedication. Now, make it, and I also want to know what happened to the pictures I was supposed to see this week. It's the last goddamn time I want somebody to use his fucking brain to not come out of a goddamn record that is that's up tempo, and I gotta talk about a fucking dog dying.
Really, it was a bad day for Casey. He's a nice guy. He really is. Did you enjoy that? Anybody who hadn't heard that before? Isn't that classic? But you know who Casey Kasem is, right? Yeah, I love hearing people like that mess up. So back to radio, and I played sampling of radio imaging for you a minute ago. I had what I thought was a brilliant idea about 5 years ago. You know, Duke was still in his heyday, and you know, I sell recordings of custom Duke recordings. I'm always having people ask me for recordings of Duke. There was a radio station that ripped off the 8-bit samples from Duke Nukem 3D that they started using as imaging on the air. You know, old stuff like Let's Rock. It's like, God, why are they using that? They're not paying me for it. Is that legal? Well, there were no rules set at the time as to whether you could take audio off of a video game and use it on the air. You still can. There's no licensing for that. Nobody's thought that far ahead yet. And a little light bulb went off over my head and went, wow, how about Duke Nukem as a radio imaging voice? That could be pretty cool. I'll call it Duke Rockem. And so I put this demo together.
The name's Nukem. Duke Nukem. Here to rock and roll and chew bubble gum.
But I'm all out of gum.
K92, let's rock.
Now, Duke Rockem radio imaging is available for your station.
Come get some.
Among adult males across America and around the world, Duke is a voice synonymous with kicking ass and taking no prisoners.
Hail to the king, baby.
is on the radio.
This is KTIT, K-Tit, playing the breast.
K92 has balls of steel.
New music.
Finger 11.
New music.
Ozzy. Lincoln Park.
It's 5 years old.
K92.
New music.
That really rocks. Touch that button and I'll rip your head off and shit down your neck. Fox Rock Network. Let's rock. One. You don't know all the words to these songs? Then just hum along. We can always use a good hummer. Come get some. Nobody knows classic rock hits better than FM 99. Hit after hit after hit. Touch that dial, and there's gonna be trouble. FM 99, classic rock hits that really rock.
With Duke, one thing's for sure.
I've got balls of steel.
Does your station have a pair? With Duke Nukem Radio Imaging, you'll get a pair. Two voices, Duke and his female companion. That's me.
Your imaging genius tells us what to say, and we say it. No questions asked. Oh, what was I thinking?
So what are you waiting for? Christmas? Duke Nukem Radio Imaging is available exclusively from Jon St. Productions.
Where is it?
For market availability and rates, email us, including your market and call letters, or call us in studio.
Now get back to work, you slacker.
One radio station bought it. God bless Ohio. There was a radio station in Ohio, the Fox Rock Network, and they used it on 3 other stations, actually. So. Oh well, it's short-lived. But I'm thinking when Duke Nukem Forever comes out, if y'all make it really popular by everybody buying 3 or 4 or 5 copies. Please, pay my mortgage, buy my game. Maybe it could lead to, popularity of Duke again, and maybe sell some of that stuff. Now, last year when I was here, somebody on the, in my panel said, "Do you really have balls of steel?" You're so funny. Well, you know what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got balls of steel. Brother with me. I take these everywhere I go now. Listen, they're magical. Come on, is there a better prop? Everybody's got these Chinese balls in their house somewhere collecting dust, right? I'm actually putting them to good use. Balls of steel. Okay. And I do take photographs with you guys too. If you want to step up and have a photograph after this session, that's fine, and you can hold my balls. It's your call. I only have a couple more audio clips that I brought to share with you. I have a ton of video that I wanted to share, but unfortunately I did not buy the proper adapter for my iPad to put it on a screen, so my bad. I really wanted to show you what I looked like with a mullet in the 80s.
It's a hell of a moment.
Because it's funny. They're TV commercials, but I'll try to show some of you these. If you're interested, let me know, and I'll just let it run up here when you come up. Plus, another thing I'm doing, some of you already know from, if you partied with me last night, I have a signature pad on my iPad here. I do thousands of autographs year-round at different conventions. I'm always signing stuff. This year, you guys are paying me back, and you're signing my damn iPad. So, anybody who comes up here wants my autograph, you're autographing my thing, because I want something back, okay? That's how that works. I only have this one left, audio clip left that I haven't used yet, is just a little sample of a TV pilot for a show that I'm hoping will take off, because if it does, I'll be narrating it all the time. It's called Eerie Tales, and they want a kind of a strange One of those voices that makes you uncomfortable when you're listening to it, to describe some odd situation. So this is called Eerie Tales. Watch for it. It could be on a TV near you sometime this year, hopefully.
Ever since a child, Perry Ross had always had a fascination with carnival sideshows. However, his visit to an unusual sideshow one November evening will have particularly chilling consequences. It is a tale entitled The Curse of the Illuminated Freak. Perry had always found freak shows thoroughly compelling. Since childhood, nature's abnormalities had captivated the middle-aged attorney. Perry was not alone in his fascination with the strange and the unusual. From its very inception, civilized society had always had a morbid fascination with the oddities of the human condition. Creatures emerging from the womb in a myriad of grotesque and nightmarish shapes.
Fuck yeah! Sorry,
yeah.
I just threw that in for fun because it was boring me. Okay, so that's pretty much all of the audio clips I have to share with you. I do have something here also that you can look at if you want to when you come up here. And that is the at least one page of the original script from the Duke Nukem Forever recordings that I finished this last year. So if you want to see some of the dialogue Duke has already recorded, that I've recorded. I'm speaking about myself in the third person. I'm sorry. I lost myself for a minute there. The hangover is still lingering. You can have a look at the script when you come up here. Let's do some more Q&A because you have already... Sir, why don't you come up here right now and get this because your question was superb. If I were a bird and I could choose to shit on any car, what model would it be? That was great. What's your question, sir? Wow, you know Uncle Boogie? Oh, okay. Yeah, I have a cover band called Uncle Boogie. In fact, our next gig is at Disneyland on the stage that made the Beach Boys famous. At Tomorrowland, later. It's not till May, so we've got a little time off. We just played New Year's Eve at a millionaire's house in Rancho Santa Fe, California. We still play regularly. We're a 7-member band. We're a dance cover band. I know that kind of doesn't suit, go with my personality. But I'll give you a sample of Uncle Boogie. I think Uncle Boogie's on my iPad. Uncle Boogie's a cover band, and we started out, believe it or not, as a band called Chaos Theory, playing rock and roll in bars. And it sucked. Because we drink more alcohol than we were being paid, and we ended up paying the damn bar at the end of the night. So, all over the country now, basically, as in Southern California, there's Indian gaming casinos. In Southern California, it's huge. They're everywhere. And in San Diego County, there's a dozen. So we got the casino circuit, playing in the lounges and such. And we decided if we're going to make money, people want to dance to a band. You have to be a dance band. So yeah, we play Beyonce, Lady Gaga, Johnny Cash. We do everything way back. If it's danceable, Uncle Boogie plays it. And I can give you a little sample of Uncle Boogie real quick, just for the hell of it. I can't guarantee that I'm singing on any of these particular clips. Here we go. Here we go. Well, if you can see this or not, I'll hold it up anyway. These are my bandmates. Video production is another thing I do on the side, so I produce the video here. Can you see this, or am I wasting your time? Casey and the Sunshine Band. Can you imagine me doing that shit? Oh, that's me singing. Okay, I'm not going to bore you with too much more Uncle Boogie. This is definitely not your thing. But speaking of music, last night, or should I say this morning around 2 a.m., I had this entourage with me. We were going, room to room to room parties. When the room parties ran out, I said, hey, let's go to Jam Space. So we all went to Jam Space, and during the evening, I started writing lyrics for my song called Balls of Steel. And there were musicians in Jam Space who were willing to let me jump up and try it, and a little bit of an audience, and they seemed to really like it. So at 4 o'clock this morning, I wrote the last verse for Balls of Steel, and I'm hoping after this panel that I might be able to go right over to Jam Space, and if there's musicians there who are willing, let me get up and do the whole thing. And if you wouldn't mind videotaping it for the internet, that would be really cool. Okay, cool. Interested in the lyrics? Okay. So it's a 1-4-5 blues in E. Da 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 da. You know how those songs go. Da da. When I was a boy. Daddy. Oh, you gotta do the music for me. Daddy said to me, son, you don't learn how to fight. You better learn how to run. I'm telling you, son, it's for real. You gotta have balls of steel. You'll need a strong pair of nuts. If you're gonna kick some butt, you gotta have balls of steel. Da 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 da. 2, 3. Da, da. I once met this girl. She seemed mighty nice, but she was a tough one. Had my balls in a vice. That's when I knew it was for real. That I needed balls of steel. You know that I may just explode if I don't shoot up my load from my big balls of steel. Okay, here's the verse I wrote at 4 a.m. I came here to MAGFest to speak and to play, but I gotta tell you, I got much more to say. I'm telling you all how I feel. I'm hoping you'll make me this deal. Now that I sang you this song, can we please say so long to me saying balls of steel? Yeah, it doesn't need another verse, does it? Guitar solo in the middle there, that's a 4-minute track, I figure. So I'm hopefully going to get it recorded at Jam Space today. That would be nice. Okay, so let's get back to Q&A because I've been talking your ear off for what, okay, yeah, it's been an hour. You have your hand up first, sir, back there.
I have a question. You got this great character with Duke Nukem, you
right.
got Balls of Steel type thing. Are there any characters that you wish you'd actually repertoire that
I wish more people knew from the game Twisted Metal 4. The character I did called Sweet Tooth Spokesperson. You know that one?
Yes!
That's the most maniacal freaking voice I've ever done, and I did lose my voice for 3 days, but that was the just most evil sounding character you've ever heard? I would love to do that one some more. So, pick up Twisted Metal 4, should be real cheap now on eBay. Don't skip ahead to the fucking game. Let the trailer play at the beginning so you can hear what I do. It's funny, you know, my kids loved that game when it came out. But inevitably, they put the disc in the PlayStation and skip right to the game every time. And, oh, you missed Daddy's part. Shut up, Dad, we're playing. Boy, gratitude.
Just so you know, I heard there's a new one coming out, so...
Twisted Metal?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not on it. I'm not on it.
Maybe.
There's all new Sonic the Hedgehog games too, and I'm not any of those. In fact, what happened... thank you, because I don't want to do Big the Cat anymore. But you know what happened with Sonic the Hedgehog was that some producer somewhere decided he didn't want the people from the video game on the TV show. So they recast to do the TV show, which is understandable. But then they decided they liked the people on the TV show so much, and it was the brand now that when they went back to do the video games, they fired all of us who were on the games and used the TV voice actors. Are you on it?
4 kids.
Oh, okay. Yeah, me and Ryan Drummond were really pissed, because he was Sonic. Yeah. And Jenny Doulard, who is Sonic's girlfriend. Great little voice actor chick. Hot too, you know, Jenny? Anyway, I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud? I thought I know I was thinking it. Yes, sir. Yes, I do monster truck commercials all the time. Sunday. Oh, yeah. You know, I can't just think of copy off the top of my head, but Sunday at Qualcomm Stadium, Monster Truck Rally. Bring the family. Tickets $15 at Ticketmaster. It's always just, you know, crappy voice, screaming stuff. Yeah, I do those. I'm a voice whore, basically. If I can be paid to say it, I will say it. I have very few restrictions as to what I will not do. I do political ads, but not for Republican candidates. Don't hate me, it's just mine, okay? It's just me. I do not do ads for gun and knife shows, ever. I don't. Recently, that little 8-year-old boy was allowed to shoot an Uzi and shot his damn head off while his father watched. You don't take children to gun shows. I don't voice them because I don't want to promote that kind of thing. Hey, if you believe in having a gun, that's fine. Cool. You have that gun. But I'm not going to promote, that kind of stuff. And then the other one, what is the third one I won't do? I guess there isn't a third one I won't do. I'm a voice whore. Sir?
So, as a voice whore, earlier you mentioned that the initial voice of Cartoon Network was inappropriate.
Yeah.
Which job you had that you thought yours was just used wrong?
Oh, so many. So many. Again, it comes down to me impersonating Don LaFontaine doing the movie trailer voice. Just for wrong application. Home stereo has never been more affordable. Really? But the worst one of all, I think, Rady Children's Hospital needs your help. Save the children. Please, not with that voice. Yes, sir. The biggest asshole I've ever worked with. Too many cameras going, sorry. Next question, please. Yes, ma'am? Yes.
What's the most embarrassing thing you've done?
Seriously? Well, it happened here at MAGFest last year, but I'm not going to talk about it. If you were here, you'd know. What's the most embarrassing thing you've ever done drunk? Oh, really? Good for you. Liquor is bad. Red shirt in the back.
You said before you did a lot of voiceovers where they asked you to sound like Patrick Stewart or something.
Yeah.
Have they ever asked you to sound like somebody with an odd or similar voice? Like maybe Gilbert Gottfried or Walker?
Yeah, I don't do a good Gilbert Gottfried. I tried. Jimmy Fallon nails that voice, though. If you've ever heard him do Gilbert Gottfried. Yeah. No, I have my limitations. I have a certain range and some that I can do, a lot that I can't do. The ones that for like cartoon voices that I do most often for non-paid events. I get paid for them, but they're non-broadcast is what I should say. Smithers and Burns from The Simpsons. Smithers, who is that large voice teller? That's Jon St, sir. St. Johnny. No, wait, Smithers, you're gay, aren't you? Well, I'm happy, sir. No, Smithers, I mean a fudge packer. A brown trout fisherman. Oh, for you, Mr. Burns. So that one, yeah. Those guys. Yes. For condoms. No, but if I could, children magnums. All sizes. That would be pretty cool. Or KY intense. Make the moment special. When the big moment comes and it's time to explode. Yeah, right here. About the time I was 15 years old, I went from sounding like this to all of a sudden sounding like this. And that's what got me into radio. And I was 14 when I first got on the radio. But I kind of sound like a pukey disc jockey that you'd hear in the 70s. Now, here's the Bee Gees jive talking about WJNC. I sounded just like that. I have tapes from 30 years ago when I sounded like that. I cannot listen to them. I don't know why I keep them, but all the way in the back there. Yeah, you, supporting your arm because it's been up so long. Yes, sir.
Have you ever gotten into a fight and then fought the guy using your Duke Nukem voice?
No, I don't fight. Verbally, but not physically. Nah, that wouldn't be good. Yes, sir. The most strenuous, hardest voice was Twisted Metal 4, that Sweet Tooth spokesperson. Because I literally lost my voice for 3 or 4 days after that one. Anytime I have to do screaming emotives, and in fact, I'm glad you brought that up because here's something that you may not know. When doing video games, you always do the emotives last. Isn't that right? You do all the dialogue first, and then the dying, killing, hitting, being hit, falling, burning. All of those are left for last because when you do those, you lose your voice. At the end of the day, you go on like this, you can't talk. So, yeah, again, it was the Twisted Metal 4 that wrecked my voice for a while, but it was so worth it. Yes, sir?
So, surely you've had a pretty colorful career as a voice actor.
Yeah, but my name is John, not Shirley.
So, what would you say is one of your favorite lines that was perhaps too colorful for you?
Wow. There were some Duke lines that were not used because even for PC they said, oh, we can't say that. Because they were politically incorrect. No, they were not politically incorrect. So, wow. Since they weren't used, I mean, we looked at the script and debated it for a while, but then did not record them. Oh, yeah. Can we stop any video recording that's going on right now? Okay, just for a moment.